Hello everybody, welcome to another exciting day of mathematics, doing geometry today. This is talking about angles, types of angles, how to name angles, measure angles, all that good stuff. I apologize, my printer was acting up, so there's like two random stuff right there, but I went ahead and fixed it with a black pen, so we'll go ahead and get started with some notes about angles in general. So what the heck is an angle? Good question. I asked it because it's a good question. An angle. This is an angle right here. It's kind of like a triangle, except you don't have the parts right here. What it's made up of, specifically using like math vocabulary, where is an angle is formed by two rays with a common endpoint. In this case, the common endpoint is B, like that. And in the definition of a ray, well, I'll just talk about the three things that you can have when it comes to like lines. Over here, there is an actual line, there's a line segment, and a ray. Those are the three different types of what people think of when they think of lines. A line is when you have arrows on both sides. So whenever you say line, you're technically talking about something that goes forever in both directions, even though most of the time you probably don't mean that. Like, everybody get in line. That's not actually a line, because that would imply there's an infinite amount of people. Usually what you mean is shorthand line segment, because a line segment means there is a start and a finish. It's like a line, but there's a start and a finish. So everyone get in a line segment means there's a person in the front and a person in the back, and there's people between them. A ray is just when it's one-sided. Instead of both going on forever, only one side goes on forever. They say like a ray of light because the sun puts out a bunch of rays. You have the sun right here, and then a bunch of rays come out of it. The sun is like the end point, and then everything comes out of it as a ray. So that's why they use a ray. It's like sunlight rays and stuff like that. Or gamma rays, right? Because there's a thing that starts and then everything goes out from it. That thing that it starts at is called the vertex, which I think is the next thing up here. This common endpoint is called the vertex, sure enough. So here, B is the vertex. Point B is the vertex. The rays are just called the sides of the angle. So name an angle using, here it is capital letters, or uppercase letters if you prefer. So notice right here, all of these points are uppercase. It is an uppercase B, an uppercase A, and an uppercase C. Anytime you have a point, points are uppercase. That is always the case in math. Points are uppercase. If you're ever doing lowercase things, those count as sides or lengths. I'll put that here. It doesn't come up immediately, but sides or length. I'm sorry, I'm just going to put lengths. Lengths are lowercase. But we're not doing with lengths right now. In the angles unit, we're just talking about points and angles. We're not talking about lengths. But just so you know, if you ever do see a lowercase letter, it is supposed to be talking about the side of something or the length of something. So we're not going to be using that as much. What we are going to be using is a lowercase m over here, which is a little different. So just real quick, use a single letter if there is only one angle located at the vertex. Like this one, there's only one angle here. It's the 60-degree one right here. But there are times where you have more than that. I could have something like an X right here, where this is angle A, that's point A, point B, point C, point D, point E. So in this case over here, you could talk about angle B. If I said, hey, look at angle B, you could just be like, oh, there it is. But if I went over here and said, hey, look at angle A, well, that's a little too vague, because maybe this is angle A, maybe that's angle A. There's 4 angles at A. So I can't say look at angle A, because there's 4 angles, plural, going on here. But over here, there's only one angle. So angle B, there is only one angle. So just make sure you can only use this if there's one angle there. Otherwise, I'm going to show you how to do it over there. Poop-a-doop-a-doo. Use a single letter if there's only one letter. When referring to the measure of an angle, use a lowercase m. So normally you would just say like angle, you literally draw a little tiny angle, angle ABC. So this would be like if you're pointing at something. If I am pointing at this, I would say angle ABC. However, as soon as you want to use the number 60, now you're talking about how big it is. This is an actual number. So you wouldn't just say, hey, this is angle ABC. You would say its measure. The measure of angle ABC is equal to 60 degrees. So just know that if you put an M there, that means your answer is a number. If you don't put the M there, then that means your answer is an angle. But you can't put ABC equals 60. That does not make sense because this is a shape, and shapes don't equal numbers. Only how big they are is a number. All right, types of angles. Probably have heard of these, so let's just go through them quickly. Right here, this is called an acute angle. That's what acute angles look like. They are less than 90 degrees. As opposed to, let's skip over this one, where it is a right angle because it is equal to 90 degrees. So the measure of this angle is 90 degrees. The measure of this angle is less than 90 degrees. The other one is obtuse, where the measure is greater than 90. But you would also say less than 180. Because 180 degrees is a straight angle, because it makes a straight line. And anything more than that, we're not going to do until like trigonometry stuff. So don't worry about things that are over 180. We're talking about, like, this is leading up to triangles. And in triangles, you can't have an angle over 180 because that doesn't make sense. Like if you were trying to do, hey, look, I'm making a 190 degree angle. It's like you can't make this into a triangle. Oops, I'm off subject. If you make a 190 degree, you can't exactly make this into a triangle because it doesn't have three sides anymore. And as soon as you try to connect them down here, then this is an obtuse angle less than 180. So there's nothing else possible here. So an example, just to show you what example one looks like, name the vertex. The vertex is a point, and if you remember, a point has to be an uppercase letter. So the vertex here is K. Name the sides of the angle. Okay, so remember a side is supposed to be a ray. So this is how you do a ray. First of all, it is going to be two letters, and you have to do it vertex and then the side. And you will put a literal ray on top of it. So whatever the vertex is, you put that letter first. Whatever the side is you're looking at, you put that letter second. And then you put a literal ray on top of it. So here, the side of the angle, I would have KL as a ray. And then I would also have KJ as a ray. And it is important you do the vertex first because this symbol is literal. It is saying that K is the vertex and L is the side going towards that side. So KL, right? Boom, boom. It is KL. Literally, here's the ray, here is the ray, starting with KL. Or if you reorient it, KJ, right? You start at K, you go to J. So the arrow is pointing this way. You start at K, arrow J. So you start at K, arrow J. Give 3 ways to name the angle. Well, first of all, there is only one angle. Because there is only one angle, we are allowed to say just angle K. When it comes to naming the angles any other time, you just have to make sure that the vertex is in the middle. So vertex in middle. And this is for part C, just to organize my notes. This is for B. Okay. So part C, make sure the vertex is always in the middle. So JKL would be fine. And the other one is just, you could go the other way, LKJ. And that's it. Those are the only ones. K has to be in the middle. As you can see right here, I'll just go ahead and highlight it because that's what I do. K has to be in the middle because K is the vertex. You cannot do JLK. You cannot do LJK. K has to be in the middle because it's the vertex. There we go. And then classify the angle. Well, it looks like it's over 90 degrees, so this is going to be obtuse. Okay, so this is what I would suggest doing. Since this is a video, try example 2, as in like pause it, try the example, and then I'll show you the answer. And if you get it wrong, then what I would do is I would rewind it until about like the 8-minute mark or something like that, and just watch this example again, and then try this one again. Even though you tried it once at that point and didn't get it right, just try it again, see if you got it now. That is my suggestion. Okay, anyways, pause it, try it. Here's the answer. Name the vertex of the angle. That is going to be S right there. So it is S. Because it is just a point, and a point is a capital letter. The sides will be starting at S going to T. So starting with S going to T. Or starting at S and going to R. So starting with S and going to R. And they have to be in that order. You could put SR and then ST, but the S definitely has to come first. Three ways to name the angle. Once again, we could do just angle S. But for the other two, S has to be in the middle. So let's go RST. Or the opposite, TSR. And because of this little symbol right here, that is a right angle. So maybe you got that right. Good times. All right, that said, I think we'll just end it there, okay? I'll have another video, and we'll just finish up this page. This has to do with the next page, so I'm just gonna leave it off till the next video. All right, have a good one. Hopefully this is helping. Bye.